Before you change your body, you must first change your mind. The last 30 years, that's what I learned. There's so many people that get great results and so many more people that don't. So many people that quit, really hardworking people, really smart people. And what we're taught is that we need this perfect plan. We need all these perfect things. We have to have the perfect diet. And we do everything we can to customize these things. But really what works is this. It is a handful of things you do day in and day out, relentlessly, consistently. That is what leads to massive results. That's the only way to do it. Think about anything in life. What leads to results? What leads to victory? It's doing the little things. In sports, it's practice, right? The people that you hear these stories about, the greatest athletes practicing much longer, more reps than anyone else. Why? Because that's who they are. That's their identity. So what we're going to do is something that I've done many times before. It's where we got most of our before and after pictures. We're coming up on 3,000 before and after pictures transformations. This is how you get them. I can tell you right now, it is the structure of it, it is the community of it, and what you have to add is the affinity, the passion, the love, and the tenacity to do it no matter what, and in spite of how you feel. So this is what you do. You say what you want, and then you say no matter what. Say like, I am determined to train 6 times a week, exactly as prescribed. I'm not gonna randomly do things because random actions produce random results. I'm going to follow the plan because I know the plan works. It's based off science. It is simple, it is logical, it's step 1, 2, 3, 6 times a week. I'll follow the nutrition guidelines every day. And there'll be days where you don't have to eat perfect. In fact, you don't ever have to be perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. In fact, you have to learn how to not be perfect. That is where you'll get success. But the thing you're going to learn the most with is this. You're going to learn how to think. Before you change your body, you must first change your mind. Say that again and again. There was a quote I read when I was 13 years old on the back of a Chevy Astro van going to Myrtle Beach on our only family vacation ever. And I opened it up, and it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it says, it is not the body that fails first, it is always the mind. That is what's missing from everything. Why can Tony Robbins work with world leaders and orchestrate things? If you knew the things this guy works on and the meetings we go in, it would blow your mind, literally. And this is a guy that's personal development. It's because psychology conquers everything else. Everything that's ever been created has first been created in the theater of the mind. And most people are lazy thinkers. And then as achievers, what do? We focus on doing, not on being. We have to be that person. We have to assume the identity, step in the alter ego of who you really are, and then take action. Take intelligent action, not just being busy. These are the huge mistakes. And if you're in this program with me, you are an achiever. You have earned a certain level of success, which allows you to be here. And that says a lot about you. But to get to one point in life requires you to change your identity to get to the next point. Because what gets you here doesn't get you here. Make sense? I know it does. I wouldn't have said otherwise. So what we're going to do starting March 20th is the next level challenge. 6 months, March 20th to September 20th. Why 6 months? Because research shows 21 days does not create a habit. I think we all know that by now, especially when you're going to have a handful of habits that you do. Not one habit, but 5 to 7 things that you will do on an ongoing basis. And that is what's going to lead to mastery. The purpose of life is self-mastery. We're all here. People say, well, what's my purpose? I don't know my purpose. Your purpose, everybody's purpose is the same thing. It'll be expressed differently. What that means is we're all here to live in love-based emotion. That is your natural state. When you're in love-based emotion, you know what to do next. Life unfolds as it is supposed to. And then when we're not in love-based emotion, that's a time to learn. That's when we're disconnected, and the creator of all will nudge you in the right direction, usually in a kind of painful way, because if you're not listening, you have to learn, right? I'm bleeding here. I got punched in the mouth the other day. It was a sport, and it wasn't like no one just punched me. It was boxing. And then once you're in love-based emotion, then you're here to learn. Then you're here to give and serve. That's what we're all here to do, and expressed in many different ways. But when we do that again and again and again, and we can master that, we create something called self-mastery. And self-mastery, the way I would define it, is mastering your thoughts and beliefs and your emotions and feelings and your actions and inactions, because sometimes we have to stop doing things. Not like if we have an addiction to smoking or alcohol, for instance, those are things we need to stop. So it is the awareness, the management, and the eventual mastery of your thoughts, emotions, actions. And automated thoughts are beliefs. So the next level challenge, I'm going to wrap this up here, March 20th to September 20th, 6 months. If you give it 6 months of your all, you're going to mess up. But when you mess up, you just get back on track. That is the only difference. If you do that, my friend, you will be rewarded. It will have more impact on your life than probably anything else. When you can master your thoughts, emotions, actions, and express it through this instrument that we have been blessed with, this form, this body, then you have proof, you have evidence, and that changes your beliefs about who you are. You're the type of person that your words have power. Like when I say I'm going to do something, I would rather die than not do it. So I'm very careful with what I say because I know how I am. And so you have to have this belief. And I think this is why I've been able to be surrounded by amazing people. Like I looked at my phone this morning, and I'm actually in Saudi Arabia, by the way. You can see the signs. Like I looked at my phone, I have like just incredible people that I get to work with and be surrounded by. And I was like, why is that? Like I'm just some dude that grew up in a trailer, you know? And I think we all have that story, right? Like we have something like, I just came from here and what's the big deal? But what it is I have, and I think you do too, or otherwise you wouldn't be here. I have a belief that I absolutely and utterly refuse limitation. When someone says they can't do something, it drives me insane. Like when I'm working with a client and they start to tell me their story of limitation, it makes me rageful because I know it's a lie and I know the damage, the poison it is. It will destroy every aspect of your life, and you will look back at your life at some point and you will have regret. And no one deserves to have that because you have the abilities. And we can find the resources, if we don't have them, to get to where we want to be. Anything is possible. And so you have to have this belief that I absolutely and utterly refuse limitation in my life, because life is about this journey from limitation to freedom. That's what this challenge is about. So if you're in, there's going to be a process we do. I said it starts March 20th. It's going to start sooner. So keep checking your messages in the chat. Check your emails. You're going to be getting some stuff from me. And it's the process of thinking. Before you change your body, you must first change your mind. Repeat that again and again, because that is the truth. Before you change anything in life, you first create it in the theater of the mind. Don't be a lazy thinker, because you're not a lazy person. Let's do this, my friend.